Hey everybody, it's Ray here with Andy, and we're going to talk about this big AI, Gen AI price war. But more importantly, I want to start with a comment, Andy. I think you've heard me say this many times. Unlike the internet age where it was decentralized, it was cheaper, it had a lot more players, and it was open, AI is exactly the opposite. It is centralized, it is more expensive, it is closed, and there are a few players that are going to win. And you're telling me, wait, there's an LLM Gen AI price war going on? Because everybody else is saying it's getting more and more expensive, but you're saying, hey, something's new on the horizon. So tell me more about this. You penned this blog recently, and you're more importantly talking about something that's big that's happening around the horizon.
First of all, hi, everybody. When it comes down to the LLM price wars or AI pricing, there are two parts to it. The actual LLM pricing itself, right? For example, the consumption pricing. A lot of these companies are unable to hold the pricing power. So they are, as you might have seen, Google, Anthropic, OpenAI. I'm not talking about your subscription-based pricing that you pay $20 a month. That's a nobody, couple of consumers with a credit card holders. We're not talking about that. We're talking about an API-based consumption model in which these companies use millions of, inferences and what have you, right? Or even enterprise license. Those prices have been going down off late. OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, all of these companies have been reducing the prices simply because there is a major price, not just price crunch compression, as you call it, but also in the fact that, when you come up with a new model, you're top of the chart for maybe a couple of days, if that. And then after that, others come up. It's a cyclical phenomenon. So you can't just increase the price and then compete hoping that your price will gain traction. Price is one of the options these companies are using to reduce the price, to reduce the friction so companies can engage with them. So there is a major reduction in price. But having said that, the other side of it, we are talking about implementation of AI. You and I talked about multiple times. The productionization of AI or even productionization of LLMs is not that easy. There are other things come with that. The security, the compliance, the bias removal, the platformization. There are so many options, even the consulting companies that are coming in and executing that, because there is a talent shortage and resource shortage in that front. The prices there are going up. So technically in the overall price, the sticker shock of enterprises are going up for AI implementation, but the LLM price are going down.
So prices are still going up to be able to do stuff in Gen AI and in AI, but at least one of the core components is coming down, is what you're saying.
Yep. Yes.
But here's the challenge, right? Everyone's like, oh, I'm going to change models. And you can't just change models. You got to train these puppies every time, right? So is it going to facilitate more switching of changing of models? Or how do we actually bring the training with us when you switch a model? Can we do that yet?
Again, it depends, the answer for that as well. So one of the things I recommend to our advisory calls to the enterprises when they ask for advice, don't choose a model, first of all, because it's cheap. Okay, so there are more than the LLM or even the total AI platform pricing component is just one portion of it. Choose a vendor that you're comfortable with, you have existing relationship with, but more importantly, the faster innovation cycle that these guys have. How often do they train the models? Whether they give you an option to fine tune your models, or how do you build RAG on top, all of this capability. So you need to look beyond that. Matter of fact, I did mention that in my blog, an idea or a thought that people loved it. Remember, the world of AI, today's bargain could be tomorrow's technical debt. So don't go with a cheaper option, build something that'll be crap, and then tomorrow you'll have a problem. So find something that is compatible with you.
So will open source win, right? Is Llama going to take over the world versus closed models or very, very industry specific models?
It's too early to answer the question, right? Because look, the companies like Alibaba, they started even before OpenAI. They have a ton of traction at one point. But then after that, as you know, just 2 days ago, they decided to exit the race. They're not even going to be in it. By the way, let me ask you this question. Do you know how many LLM providers exited just in 2024 alone?
I heard 20, but there could be more.
No, it's 4 major ones that left out, right? Alibaba is the latest one. The reason being is that because it's a competitive nature of the business, they can't just monetize their models alone. So they're looking for other ways to engage in to substantiate what they already have, including the platformization option. Did I answer your question? I might have meandered.
No, you did. Some of the smaller ones also exited because their verticals were too small. They didn't have enough data.
Yeah.
So I know about I know more than a dozen startups that have actually thought they were going to build LMs and jumped into the race and then realized, oh wait, we need data. Like, yeah, you need lots of data.
Right.
It's kind of funny, but they had the right idea. But I think they were better off sitting on top of other people's data.
Speaking of that, there's also another issue happening in the industry, which I'm kind of concerned about as well. Remember that you said a lot of the smaller companies don't have enough data, because collecting, curating, getting the data ready and cleansing it is not easy to train an LLM. It's a very expensive process. So a lot of the smaller companies, as you were suggesting, what they try to do is that instead of using a synthetic data creation to create the model, which is creating another problem because you're using AI to create the AI model. So it's basically getting in a loop. You're using AI to create the data. You're using AI to create the models. And then you're using AI to validate the models. So
Andy, it's all relative. Who cares what's real anymore? There's no source of truth. Nobody cares about that.
It's a Terminator loop already.
But yeah. Well, hey, anyways, that's really hot. It's one of the big blog posts people are reading. They're trying to understand what this price war is and what it means for them. So definitely keep your eyes hot on this topic. And of course, Andy looks at this area. And more importantly, everybody looks at AI. Andy's looking at this part of AI. So definitely watch this closely. And of course, the short lists that come with it. So, all right. Hey, Andy, great catching up with you. I have nothing. Yeah, nothing. I have nothing interesting to add. I'm just so. Thanks a lot, everybody.